Definitely need a pizza peel and not a hamburger spatula. Even though I made these. I'm finally getting to the brick oven. I went and picked up the bricks a couple days ago, and I'm just getting to it this weekend. So, you know, you can see this on the SketchUp video and the plans, but basically you just get you 20 bricks for the bottom, 7 for the sides, each side, so 14, and 7 for the back. I think it's 40, right? What I will do is, after I test this and make sure it works, because remember now I've got to cut my barrel that I'm going to use. Cut the barrel off, and that'll make this higher and a bigger dome and give you that dome for the heat at the top. So what I will do though is that these were brand new. I didn't find any used ones. They were 90 cents each. The fire brick are only $1.20 if you don't get the cut flat ones. So no point in that. What you could do is go ahead and buy 5 for the front row here, and then just get you 15 regular fire bricks for the back. They are a little taller, so you know, but you would have this whole platform to cook and all of that. So you could just push your fire back into the 2 corners and then cook right here. Or just get you 20 fire brick for this whole front part. They were only $1.20 each, so be still cheap. Yeah, this is going to be well under $100, and I think the fire brick would probably fit closer together too. Again, this is one of those, you know, quick backyard. You know, if you're going to have a 4th of July picnic or party, you just throw this together and then you can store it somewhere, right, when you're done. What I'll probably do is take my barrel, flip it over, and put all the bricks inside it, and then stick it somewhere, you know, out of the way. Unless, I don't know, my kids like pizza a lot, so they may be using it more than we think. But I'll get the barrel cut, get that put on there, and then we'll give it a test run before we do anything else with it. Okay, so I'm going to cut my barrel in half now. And you probably can't see it yet, but what I'm going to do for the first cut is go down this seam that's right here. And I'm going to cut each rib first, then I'll go in between in these spaces. And that way I'll get a straighter line. Okay, so I got this side cut. I left about 1 inch right here and about 2 inches down at the bottom not cut, so that it wouldn't, you know, flop around like I said. Then Philip, and the math whiz that he is, figured out how I could get my mark on the other side. I wasn't sure how I was going to do that, but we just took a string and went all the way around and found the whole circumference of it. Then we just drew a line on here and here, measured it, and then we divided that in half, and it ended up being 34.5. So we made another mark here, and we just lined our original mark up with the cut I already made, and then went around to the other side same way and just marked a mark over here on both the top and the bottom, and then we lined them up, you know, just like you do a chalk line, but we used a straight rule, and drew us a line on there for this one. So that's going to be what I follow to cut this side. And then of course, you know, we just extended it onto the rib here and drew one across the bottom so that I can cut that. And once I get it all cut out, all I got to do is set it on top of the bricks. And alright, I'm going to start cutting some more, and I'm just going to show you that little trick of getting your halfway around on a round thing. You can use it on smaller stuff if you want to. Alright, catch you in a little bit. I'll go ahead and use the end from one of them to, and I'll cut a little half moon out of it so that it's not, you know, a full piece. And we'll use that for the door. Deck, and I don't have the cement backer board yet, so Philip went to go pick that up. But if you're watching the plans, you need to put that down so you don't burn your wood. But as you can see in the EasyGo golf cart video, this was the deck that was on it. I'm going to eventually make a table out of it, so this would be a quick way to set it up for us. Right now I'm just using sawhorses because we haven't got to making this yet, but it'll make a great one. So I've got a 5-gallon bucket of sand. Is actually probably more than enough, but I just covered the whole thing because I didn't know where I was going to lay it and how much room it was going to take. So in the future I'll know. Anyway, I just got this old desk board that we have here, and I laid it on top so that I could, you know, knock them all down. It's not going to be perfect. But that'll get them pretty flat, and that's what the sand's for. You want to just pour it and kind of smooth it, but don't press your bricks down when you first put them. Just kind of set them there and don't pat your sand down. That way, when it's time, you can knock them down and they'll get somewhat even. A little bit of a gap right here, so I'm just going to get some of that extra sand when she gets back with the golf cart and put it along there to fill in the gaps. Okay, got a little bit of rain just now, kind of sprinkled, just like one cloud in the sky or whatever. I just loaded the wood up, so I just took that time to go ahead and cut this off so that I'm done with that. I put it back on, and then like I said, I don't know if you can see over here, I just went around and took a handful of sand and threw along the sides right there, and so it's all pretty closed up in there and looks pretty good. Just a little bit left to, you know, in between the gaps of the bricks, I guess, but you know, this is not a permanent oven like by any means. So this is gonna be the first fire up. The only thing I don't have is I don't have a hole saw, so I can't put my flue in yet, so that's what I'm gonna do next. But I'm just going to test it out like this. It should work fine. Without it, it'll eventually roll out right here. So hopefully it'll work. Right now we're just going to fire it up and let it burn for a while. Well, it was a little hard to get started. I actually had to take some of the sand off the back to get a little bit of airflow coming through. I don't have a hole saw to make my flue like I'd said, so just going to have to do it that way for a while until I can get me a hole saw in a week or two. So with the big opening, I thought it would be easier, but it's going now, so I guess I'll just have to wait and let that burn off some of that paint and stuff, and get those bricks really hot. Then we'll try to put us a pizza in there in just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do take 2 here. The first time we did it at lunch today, it didn't seem to work out very well, so we made some different dough and put more fire in there, and it's a lot hotter and everything now, so we're going to give it a try. That's my problem. I keep flipping it off. That dough turned on me. I didn't slide it. I tried to lift it. Dang it. Ooh, yeah, it's hot now. It's much better with a lot of heat in it. So definitely need a pizza peel and not a hamburger spatula. Even though I made these smallers, it still flipped over and dumped a lot of the toppings right in here, which caused it to stick, which makes it a mess. So the trick would be to get a good pizza peel thing so you can slide it right in there, pull it out, let the crust get crispy because it doesn't take long, and then you can slide that pizza peel to spin it around. Because this time with a lot more heat in there, it's working much better than it did at lunchtime today. See, it's already bubbling right here. So definitely a pizza peel and lots of coals and get it really hot in there. And there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Get him in there a little bit higher.